Shalom, more praises be to Yahawashi, Shai Bashem Rakakodash, Shabbat Shalom. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who are well, and salutes unto the Arkham who continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. And at the title of this one is We Out, man. We Out. This is 2nd Ezra 13. Let's read a couple of verses, man. It's a brilliant chapter. But I'm just going to read a couple of verses from verse 28. So 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 28. And that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation. I wanted verse 29. Salakia. And it says, Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. Who's the them? The them is speaking of the elect, right? 144,000 men in that great multitude of men, women, and children. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Alright. I might even tighten it down, see what the Spirit has me do, in post-production, but yeah, man, because these people are going to be astonished, man. It's going to get televised, it's going to be, the whole world is going to see the return of the Lord. Okay. Man. Wow. Okay. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and signs shall happen which I shewed thee before. Then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Okay, which is speaking of Yahawashi. When all the people hear his voice, every man in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. That's the armies. Putting aside their differences and coming together to try and fight the Lord. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come down. And Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. Alright, so the Lord is coming back in that fathership, man. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, for which their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherein they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labour by the law, which is like unto me. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes, which are carried away prisoners out of their own land. Okay, and we know about that in the history, in the time of Hosea the king, Manasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came into another land. Okay, and it gets into it further on with the time periods and the particular locations. Okay, but pretty much, man, the Lord, right, as it says in verse 29, when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. We out, man. Alright, the Lord is coming back to deliver his elect, man. His elect. And we're hoping and praying to be a part of that, man, because if not, man, you're going to be left on the earth, and by default your representative becomes the devil. which means you're on the side of the devil. Alright? And they're gonna try and fight the Lord and get destroyed, man. You know. There's a particular one-on-one. Sore, afraid, and yet durst. I was sitting in verse 8 at the top. So let me start from verse. Let me start from verse 5. And it says that 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would not have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there was fight. So this is speaking about Yahawashi coming back in that fathership, man. Okay. And the great multitude which came to subdue him were the armies of the earth, man. You know, specifically in those fighter jets trying to go ahead to fight the Lord, man. Now they were sore afraid, but the Lord gonna put the spirit on them, even though they're gonna be terrified, to still try and take him down, so that the Lord can blast them away with the voice of the chariot, which is those laser beams, man. Okay. Verse 10. Eventually verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So, out of his mouth. That's speaking about what? The laser beams which are going to come from the chariots, man. Okay. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight these armies, man, of the earth. And burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable number nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. Alright, when I saw this I was afraid. Okay. So the Lord is going to smoke these people, man. Literally, all that's going to be left is dust and smoke. It's in the scriptures, man. Alright. The Lord is going to smoke these people and save his elect, man. Straight to the point, man. So we know what's going to happen, man. More sure word. We know what's going to happen, man. It's one of my favorite scriptures, 2 Peter 1:19. We also have a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye dwell. Whereunto ye do well, that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, unto the day dawn and the day star rising in your hearts, which is Yahawashi. So we have a more sure word of prophecy, man. We know what's going to happen, because the Lord has given us the insight to see. Blessed are your eyes for they see, and your ears for they hear. The prophecy was given to you, but to them it is not given. If I can get that to them, so that is not. Close out on this. Matthew 13:11. He answered and said unto them, because it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given, man. So we can see Barak the Yahawashi and the that's we can see how this is all playing out, man. We can see it. We can see the destruction, man. We're at the door of it, man. We're there, you know. So stay strong out here, man, because Yahawashi's coming back with them chariots, man, to smoke these people and to save his elect. Lord willing, we're a part of it, man. You know.